What would you do if, after many years, you found yourself face to face with a bear once again? Would your past experiences help you stay calm, or would the sudden threat send you into panic? How would you respond in that terrifying moment? And what can we learn from those who've faced such a nightmare? Come to today's video. Story 1. Timothy Treadwell's story is both a haunting tale of human ambition and a sobering reminder of nature's raw, unpredictable power. Known as the Grizzly Man, Treadwell dedicated his life to studying, filming, and advocating for the protection of grizzly bears. However, his passion for these majestic creatures ultimately led to his tragic demise, along with his partner, Amy Huguenard, in the wilds of Alaska's Katmai National Park. Timothy Treadwell, born April 29, 1957, in Long Island, New York, grew up as an ordinary kid with an extraordinary imagination. Struggling with addiction and direction in his younger years, Treadwell found solace in nature, particularly in the presence of grizzly bears. In the late 1980s, he began traveling to Katmai National Park and Preserve, a rugged elliptic alkite national park and preserve, a rugged, elliptic wings renowned for its grizzly bear population. Over time, he became a self-taught bear expert, spending 13 consecutive summers living among the grizzlies. Treadwell was not a trained biologist or wildlife expert. Instead, he relied on intuition, observation, and sheer passion. He believed he had a special bond with the bears, often getting dangerously close to them, filming their behavior, and even naming individual bears. This approach, while captivating to many, was widely criticized by scientists and park officials for its recklessness and lack of regard for safety. Amy Huguenard, Treadwell's girlfriend, shared his love for nature but was reportedly more cautious. She joined him on his final trip to Katmai in 2003, despite her reservations about the risks involved. In the summer of 2003, Treadwell and Huguenard set up camp in a remote area of Katmai known as the Grizzly Maze. This location, frequented by numerous bears, was particularly dangerous in late summer and early fall, when food sources dwindled and bears became more aggressive in preparation for hibernation. The couple had initially planned to leave the park in September, but Treadwell decided to extend their stay into October, citing his desire to protect the bears from poachers, even though no evidence of poaching had been reported in the area. On October 5, 2003, a distressing call came into the National Park Service. Treadwell and Huguenard failed to make their scheduled departure, and a pilot flying over their campsite spotted a grizzly bear lingering nearby. When rangers arrived at the site, they made a grim discovery. The remains of Treadwell and Huguenard were scattered across the campsite, clear evidence of a violent bear attack. A video camera was found at the scene, but its lens cap was still on, suggesting it had been grabbed in a moment of panic during the attack. The audio recorded on the tape was harrowing, capturing the sounds of the couple's final moments as the bear attacked. Investigators determined that the bear responsible was a large older male grizzly, likely struggling to find food. Rangers euthanized the bear near the campsite, and its stomach contents confirmed it had fed on the couple. Treadwell's death sent shockwaves through the wildlife conservation community and the public. His daring lifestyle and intimate footage of grizzlies had made him a controversial figure, and his death reignited debates about human interaction with wildlife. Many experts argued that Treadwell's behavior had been reckless, both endangering himself and potentially habituating bears to human presence, which could lead to more human-bear conflicts. The story of Timothy Treadwell and Amy Huguette was immortalized in the 2005 documentary Grizzly Man, directed by Werner Herzog. The film paints a complex picture of Treadwell as both an admirable advocate for wildlife and a flawed individual whose lack of caution led to a preventable tragedy. The tragedy of Timothy Treadwell and Amy Huguenot underscores the importance of respecting wildlife and understanding the risks of venturing into their territory. Bears are powerful predators, and while they are not inherently aggressive toward humans, their behavior can be unpredictable, especially when food is scarce or they feel threatened. Story 2. A warm August evening in 1997, and visitors at Liard River Hot Springs Provincial Park, nestled in the remote wilderness of northern British Columbia, were enjoying the tranquil allure of the natural hot springs. Known for its pristine beauty, the park is a serene retreat surrounded by dense boreal forest. But on that fateful day, paradise turned into a nightmare. What unfolded would become one of the most chilling and tragic bear attack stories in Canadian history. Among the visitors was a young couple, 27-year-old Kathy Holmes and her boyfriend. They were seeking a peaceful escape, a chance to relax in the steaming mineral pools and take in the natural wonder of the area. Families, hikers, and travelers dotted the boardwalk leading to the springs, soaking in the warm air and the calls of the wilderness. But lurking in the shadows of the forest was a predatory grizzly bear, a rare and terrifying anomaly in the animal kingdom. Unlike most bears, which avoid human interaction, this bear seemed to view the park's visitors as prey. It was hungry, relentless, and calculating. The attack began suddenly and without warning. The grizzly charged out of the thick undergrowth, its massive frame barreling onto the boardwalk. Panic erupted as visitors scrambled to escape. Kathy, her boyfriend, and several others ran for their lives, desperate to reach safety. But the bear was faster. It targeted Kathy and brutally mauled her in front of the horrified crowd. Her boyfriend, unarmed and helpless, tried to intervene, but was forced to retreat under the bear's relentless assault. Meanwhile, others in the group, including children, watched in stunned terror. Some fled down the boardwalk. Others froze, paralyzed by fear. The bear's rampage did not stop with Kathy. After her death, the grizzly began stalking others. Amidst the chaos, a heroic man named 56-year-old James "Jim" Ruddle stepped into action. Jim used a large tree branch to confront the bear, drawing its attention away from the remaining survivors. His selfless actions bought the others precious moments to escape, but tragically cost him his life. The carnage finally ended when a park visitor retrieved a rifle from their vehicle and shot. By the time authorities arrived, 2 lives had been lost, and the park was left scarred by the horrifying event. Kathy Holmes and Jim Ruddle became the tragic faces of one of Canada's rare but deadly grizzly attacks. Kathy's attack by bear, occurring on August 14, 1997, devastated her family and loved ones. She was remembered as a kind and vibrant young woman, full of life and promise. Jim was hailed as a hero, his bravery ensuring the survival of others in a situation where terror could easily have claimed more lives. The bear itself was later examined, revealing it was starving and in poor health. Experts speculated that the animal's desperate condition drove it to such an unnatural and violent act. Predatory attacks by grizzlies are exceptionally rare, making this case a grim reminder of how unpredictable wildlife can be. The tragedy at Liard Hot Springs serves as a cautionary tale for anyone venturing into bear territory. While most bears are not aggressive, knowing how to react in a bear encounter could mean the difference between life and death. Story 3. Patrice, a woman who had spent much of her life hiking, fishing, and exploring the vast landscapes of Alaska. For years, she had roamed the wilds of the state with an ease and confidence that came from years of experience. But that day, something went horribly wrong. It began like any other adventure, with the crisp air, the scent of pine trees, and the sounds of the forest surrounding her. She was in the Resurrection Bay area, known for its stunning beauty and rugged terrain. But as she made her way down the trail, she encountered something that no one could have anticipated. At some point during her hike, Patrice crossed paths with a bear, a large and powerful brown bear likely drawn to the area by the abundance of food available in the spring. In Alaska, bears emerge from hibernation hungry and desperate to feed on anything they can find. The incident was swift and brutal, the bear attacking her without warning. Though the details of the exact encounter remain unclear, it's likely that Patrice never stood a chance. The bear may have been startled by her presence, or it could have been defending its territory or cubs. Bears are often unpredictable, and their response to humans can vary depending on the situation. It was a terrifyingly quick encounter, one that left Patrice with no time to react. Her body was found later that day by searchers after a massive search effort involving local authorities and volunteers. It was a tragic end for a woman who had lived her life by the mantra of respecting nature. But in the world of wildlife, respect alone is not enough. Patrice's death highlights the inherent risks of venturing into bear country, especially alone. Despite all the precautions hikers, campers, and hunters may take carrying bear spray, making noise to alert animals to their presence, or even carrying firearms there, is always a chance, however slim, that things could go wrong. Alaska is home to some of the most formidable bears in the world, with brown bears and black bears roaming vast expanses of wilderness. While attacks like the one on Patrice are relatively rare, they are not unheard of. Bears are opportunistic predators, and their behavior can be influenced by many factors, such as hunger, the presence of young cubs, or a surprise encounter with a human. In Patrice's case, it's likely that the bear was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, and once the attack began, there was no stopping it. In the wake of the attack, wildlife experts reiterated the importance of safety when traveling through bear country. Many hikers and campers who had once felt comfortable in the wild were left shaken, questioning whether they, too, could fall victim to such an attack. Such measures are not taken lightly. Bears are often relocated when possible, but in this case, the bear's behavior was deemed too dangerous to allow it to remain in the area. While the death of Patrice Miller was a tragic and horrifying event, it offers lessons for all who venture into bear habitats. First and foremost, hikers must understand that bear attacks, though rare, are a possibility. While many people hike, camp, and explore these wild areas safely every year, it's important to remember that bears are wild animals, capable of swift and deadly actions. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about wildlife and safety tips, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to catch our latest updates. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.